Hello everyone. Today's topic is motion. So let's proceed on. First of all, we will have to take one of comment which is being said by our one of the spiritual guru, that is Swami Vivekananda. Motion is the sign of life. मतलब मोशन ही वह चीज है जो हमारी लाइफ को समझाता है, बतलाता है. Okay, so let's begin up with motion. It is my brief intro, that is like as. Here I am Rakesh Chandra. I had completed Masters in Technology in Design and Production Engineering from GBPOET. Mentored 1,000+ students over the 3 years of teaching experience. I am also be working as a project coach. So here going to begin the motion को शुरुआत करते हैं. So firstly, I made over here the 5 fundamentals or 5 process. First of all, we will have a look over study about the state of rest. Then have a state of motion. Just after knowing the state of motion, we will have describing the motion parameters. Motion के जितने भी parameters होंगे, as like you know it well, and is as if not, we will see in the later all sections. Motion के जो parameters होते हैं जैसे कि speed, distance, that is what all, तो उन्हीं को हम देखेंगे वहाँ पे आगे कैसे एक्सप्लेन किया जाता है, डिस्क्राइब कैसे किया जाता है. After that, we will have the measurement of this parameters or the motion parameters. Then thereafter, we will having types of motions. Okay, last topic is types of motion. That how many types of motion is to be represent over there. Okay, कितने types के motion होते हैं. Then we will able to understand the motion at all. तो अब आगे शुरुआत करते हैं. This is a state of rest. In state of rest, there is a ball which I made over an scale. Okay, मैंने यहाँ पर एक स्केल के ऊपर एक बॉल को रखा हुआ है, where the ball is at a position 0. Okay, स्केल पे हमारे position 0 0 पे बॉल है. So the initial position of that ball, okay, where ball is situated at rest position or initially, that is called as origin or a reference point. इसी पॉइंट को हम origin भी कहेंगे और reference point कहेंगे. Then thereafter we will having a time t is equals to 0 0. That is the initial position. Okay, this shows that initially the ball is at that place. After the interval of t is equals to 10 seconds, the ball have changed their position, that is a final position, and it is also be the same as the initial position. So here initial position is equal to the final position. That is what depicting a state of rest. Okay, the state of rest is defined as when object does not change positions. Okay, with what did it says, जब कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट पोजीशंस चेंज नहीं करेगा विद द टाइम इंटरवल. ओके, व्हेन जब हमारे पास कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट पोजीशंस को अपनी चेंज नहीं कर रहा है, ओके, द सेम पोजीशन इज देयर इनिशियली एंड फाइनली, देन दिस काइंड ऑफ स्टेट ऑफ object is called as state of rest. So here is the initial position becomes as the final position where no movements are occurred or measured. Okay, this is called as a state of rest. Then having a state of motion. In state of motion, there is a ball which is being also is put out over an scale. Okay, as earlier one. Initially, the time t is equals to 0 0 seconds. The ball is at the initial position at position 0 0. Here is this is the 0 position. After the time interval, t is equals to some seconds, that is 10 seconds, that final position of ball is going to change and the new position of ball is at a position number 3. So this is what depicts a kind of motion. Now have a look over definition of state of motion. Here it is. When object changes positions with time interval. Okay, that is state of motion. जब कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट पोजीशन को चेंज कर रहा होगा लगातार with the time interval, this is called as a state of motion. Initial position always differ with the final position, that is the condition for state of motion. Here the movements are to be captured or occupied. यहाँ पे हमें movements वगैरह देखने को मिलते हैं. After understanding about the state of rest and state of motion, now we are approaching to describing the motion. So let's begin up here. We have to understand two basic terminologies as reference point or origin. It is a point where from the observer measures the reading. ओके लाइकवाइज जैसे कि मानते हैं कि आप एक ऑब्जर्वर हो एंड यू आर नोटिसिंग दैट वन पर्सन इज गोइंग टू रन फॉर सम वाइल, कुछ एक डिस्टेंस को रन करना चाह रहा है, देन इनिशियल पोजीशन इज द पोजीशन वेयर फ्रॉम यू आर गोइंग टू मेजर इट. ओके, आप उसका जो डिस्टेंस है इनिशियल पॉइंट से जो मेजरमेंट लोगे, दैट point where from you can say it as the initial point, this is called as the origin or a reference point. Okay, where from your readings are going to start. Okay, the next thing is path length. Path length is the total distance covered between the initial and final point is the path. Okay, is the path length. So let's see it. Measure of motion. The quantities which kindly used to measure object of an motion of an object are distance and speed. These are the two terminologies which basically used to measure any motion. Measure of motion is being depicted over here in this slide. Initially, this is an object being scaled over an scale, being put out over an scale. And initially the time t is equals to 0 0 seconds. This ball is at position number 0. After the time interval t is equals to 10 seconds, the new position of that object is 3. So the distance is what? Measure of initial to the final position. This is the initial position of a ball and that is the final position of a ball after 10 seconds. So this is what this whole measurement over an scale, this is called as a distance. Okay, distance is what? Now defining them, the length of initial to the final position of an object, or it is also called as path length. Its unit is as meter or kilometer. Okay. Speed. Speed is what? Speed is distance traveled in unit time. Okay. It will symbolizes us. Speed जो है हमेशा हमें फास्टनेस और स्लोनेस के बारे में बताती है. Okay. This depicts us about the fastness and slowness of motion. Its formula is as speed is equals to distance upon time. Okay. So here units of speed are as meter per second or kilometer per hour. Now having a types of motion over starting up over here. Okay. Rectilinear motion. When object moves on an straight line path. Okay. जहाँ पे ऑब्जेक्ट जो है वो एक स्ट्रेट लाइन पाथ पे फॉलो कर रहा होगा, स्ट्रेट लाइन पाथ पे मूव कर रहा होगा, दैट काइंड ऑफ मोशन इज कॉल्ड एज अ रेक्टिलिनियर मोशन. Here the measured type of motion is called as rectilinear motion. Motion of train, sprinter. Motion of train, as we see that if motion train is being हम समझते हैं कि ट्रेन बेसिकली एक स्ट्रेट लाइन मोशन होता है. ओके. एक लाइन पे पटरी वाली लाइन होती है. ओके. रेलवे ट्रैक्स होते हैं. दीज आर ऑल स्ट्रेट एज वी एज्यूम टू बी. ठीक है. हर किसी को बताएंगे तो इसी तरीके से बताया जाएगा. देन हैविंग अ स्प्रिंटर. जितने भी जो स्प्रिंटर 100 मीटर रेसेस होती हैं इन एनी वेयर यू कैन सी, हमेशा आपको स्ट्रेट लाइन पाथ्स पे मिलेंगी. Then blood flow in the veins is also be in form of straight line path. Okay, this is being depicted over here that the train tracks are always of a straight line. Okay, then this is what a figure shows a sprinter which is being having a race course in and covering a distance in a rectilinear motion. Okay, then having a circular motion when object moves on a circular path. Likewise there is a kind of circular path. ठीक है. उस circular path पे हमें कोई motion provide करवाना है. That kind of motion is called as this type of motion is called as circular motion. Here the example of circular motion as motion of fan blades, circular motion of satellite around Earth. This is what circular motion of Earth, okay, or the satellite around Earth, or rotation of stone by a rope. Okay, this is why is going to rotate this stone with a rope. This is also depicting on circular kind of motion. So this is all about your motion concepts and regards the types of motion. Here is I am summing up it all. Thanking you. We'll meet in the next lecture. Okay. Goodbye. See you again.